All right, back out here again. And finally, guess what? Finally actually gonna get it tuned. Because last time we was gonna get it tuned, the guy called me up, was like, hey, what injectors you got? Which if you've been watching, you'll know. Apparently I had wrong injectors in it. Had the, was it low impedance and it gotta be high. So I'll swap those out. We're set at 1200 fuel injector clinic ones, and it runs now. So that's a good thing. So probably gonna get her tuned. He did say swap out the plugs, so I'm gonna go and throw a fresh set in it. We'll gap them at 20 and throw the hood on it. Get this thing loaded on a trailer, get it headed south. So we'll get her tuned up. As you can see, she was running a smidgen wrench with the old wizard tune in there. So yeah, so I'm having it tuned. Cause I don't know what I'm doing with the Holly, and that is just on the wizard tune. So, and he said that the auto lights aren't really that good with the boost. I don't know. I've done it before, but I don't know. He said, I don't remember what he said. He said something, but anyway, he said to run his NGK, so that's what I'm doing. All right, I'm gonna gap these things, get these slammed in there, throw the hood on it, and then we'll get her up on the trailer and we'll head south. Well, joke's on me. Thought I was getting it tuned. Nope, you get it down there and he goes to tune it and doesn't want to crank. Just clicks when you hit the key. Super de-duper. Someone done it for a little while earlier. Messed around with it, hoping I could get it to fire off or anything, and no. I was getting like 12.4 volts out of the ignition coming down. So I'm like, all right, cool. But I was only getting 5.5 volts at the solenoids. So I was like, there's breaking a wire somewhere. So led that wire back, short a bunch of breaks in it. I was like, oh, cool, that's it. So I ran a new wire from inside, all to the starter. Now it only gets 6 volts. And it's only getting 6 volts out of the ignition now, which is weird, considering it was getting 12.4, 12.2. So now that I can figure is just putting the resistance back in the ignition switch. The ignition switch is bad, is probably what the issue is. So picking this thing up now. I'm going to cut the trailer. Picking it up now and going to bring it home. Figure out what 100% what it is, what this issue is. Then once I can get her cranking again, then I guess we'll bring her back down and get tuned again. Might be in this video, might not be. I don't know. Maybe I'll set it on fire in this video. I do not know. Wait and see. So it's another day. Pull a steer column trim off of this thing. We'll see if it is the actually the ignition switch that's causing the issue. I have a real sneaky position, yeah, that's it. Suspicion that is 100% the issue. All right, so let's check this ignition switch here and see, but I don't know. I kind of hit it a second ago and it looked like it was kind of reading battery voltage. So it's not going to be it. I was going to try to do it here, but it doesn't look like I'm able to do it and hold this at the same time. I have to take my word for it. It was battery voltage when I was hitting the key. So next step is the clutch switch, which weird part is I jumped that yesterday. It made no difference. So let's see. No clue why I'm having such a hard time with this thing. It's a very simple setup on the starters of these cars. You know what I mean? You run out of this wire right here from the ignition, which turned out to be good. I'm getting battery voltage here, like I said. You go to the clutch switch, it would break it down to 5.5, 6 volts. Went ahead, just jumped it across, no works. So now, completely did away with everything in the car. This is hooked directly to the starter solenoid now, on the exciter side, right? Look, I can take it. I got a good ground to hook this thing to, so I don't have to hold on to it. And I'm getting, you know, it's down to like 11.4 or something now because we've been messing with this junk pile. but I'll show you the weird part if I can find the ground. Hold please. All right. 10-8 now, because we've been sitting here. All right. There is right from here. That wire is piggybacked out to nothing but the starter. I did away with the harness out of the car from the sono on that side, okay? Now, I ran me a jumper wire back in from there, just as a test lead. I'll hook that on here, and you're going to get voltage drop, obviously, because of so much wire. But, boom, 6 volts. Riddle me that. When there is nothing in the system, it's a starter. The starter is the only thing in the system. So either the starter is shorting out internally or something. And the thing is, I'd be like, oh yeah, definitely starter. Just a third brand new one. Same manufacturer, don't get me wrong. But it is the third one. And not only that, but I can literally take and, here, watch, I'll come out and show you guys here real quick. I'm gonna turn the key on. Make sure it ain't that gear so don't jump off the trailer here on me. Let me get out. All right, so here's my jumper leads that I run inside so I can test it by myself. And as you can see, I got my relay right up in there, which is the old relay, which I don't use no more. I use the relay on the starter, but there is a hot wire there off the battery. So if I take it, it'll bounce on it. See? So I doubled up my jumper lead just to make it a thicker wire, double checked it, right out of that lead, what I hooked, not hooked to the starter, 12 volts in the crank position. And now, maybe I just need a little thicker wire because right now, let's see. In the original wire going from the ignition out from the firewall forward, I put a whole new wire to the starter because I found a bunch of breaks in the factory wire thinking that was it. It didn't help it. So obviously if I had to guess, it's in that clutch switch somewhere because it's weird. I bypassed it, didn't work, but it's got to be in that clutch switch somewhere. So what I'm going to do is run a new wire from here, whoop, right back to the ignition switch. Just wanted the safeties in it, so I just had to remember not starting gear. Which, you know what? I'm used to those jump movements and everything else. I never had safeties in them, so we will be all right. Got her back from tuning. Seems to be running good. The only issue is, he said you hook up the alternator and it throws RFI out. So, we're looking on the shelf and I got a couple different ones. Got a Power Master, one wire, I might put that on there. I got 3G and a couple stock ones. I think I'm gonna try the one wire, see if that puts out an RFI. Let's check it. All right, that seems better now. Alternator's unhooked, so it won't be charging. Try it. I'm gonna end this video here. On a good note, that it does run good with no battery, without the thing hooked up, the alternator. So don't know. Figure that out at a later date. At least I did get to drive it. And it's got plenty of power, but I ain't gonna use it because of clutch in it right now and no alternator. Oh well. Get the bugs worked out, man. We'll eventually get this thing to the track, probably the end of the year, would be my guess. The way she's acting. So I don't know. Probably should still just park this car out and call it a day. Put a stocking rubber bag in it. We'll see. I don't know.